How is everybody doing today? And in this video, we are going to talk about our brand new attacker, which is going to be Evelyn. Evelyn by far has definitely raised the standards of what an attack character should be with how she plays, not only with certain teammates, but also for what she is able to revolve around herself when it comes to stacking up her own power. And not only that, being able to combo some absolutely devastating damage when you're using not only part of her resources, but also some of her combos. So today, we're going to talk about everything that you possibly need to know around Evelyn when it comes to not only how to play her, what things to build on her, and also what teammates you're going to want to use with her as well. Before we get into that, make sure to leave a like, comment, sub, all the different type of stuff. And also, this will be recorded on the content creator experience server, so anything that you see from here up until release may change. Let's go ahead and get into this video. Now, looking at Evelyn, she is definitely going to be a lot more active than most of these other attackers that we currently have in the game. You really are going to be switching from Evelyn to her teammates very often with what she's able to do. But before we can get into that, let's talk about the basis of her kit, and that is going to be the bind state. The bind state is going to be when you have this string attached to the enemy, and this allows you to be able to actually be getting more moves off of your skill or some of your basic attacks as well when you are attached to an enemy. Some of the moves that you will be using with Evelyn will have their location where whoever is tethered to Evelyn at the current moment. With this bind state, you really can get this from almost everything in her kit when it comes to her final hit of her basic attack, from her skill up into a dodge counter, quick assist, ultimate, and even chain attack. There's just so many different ways to get the bind state that this shouldn't be much of a problem. And a good thing that comes with the bind state is whenever someone is binded, you will be receiving 25% crit rate, which is a healthy boost of crit rate to help you build your characters. And overall, this is just very strong for this to be a 100% uptime passive that you will be getting with Evelyn. For the most part, when looking at Evelyn's basic attack, you really aren't going to be using this by itself, just because the normal hits that you do get from this, which are just physical damage, aren't really going to be doing anything compared to what we're going to be talking about, which is her skill. Her skill is going to allow you to get basically a rope around the enemy and also pull in enemies at the same time. If you leave the skill as is, this allows you to go ahead and get an explosion off around the enemy that you are binded to. If you use your skill and then use your basic attacks, you'll get a long string of fire hits, which will raise up your bar in the top left very much. This is a lot better than just using your skill and leaving it alone. You really want to cancel the explosion and use your basic attacks. That way you're able to raise the bar as fast as possible. And for those that want to know what this bar does, every single time you do fire damage with Evelyn, you will be receiving meter in this bar. Once this bar is filled up past this little notch, you are able to use your hold basic attack, which will allow you to gain a burning tether point. Once you have the burning tether point maxed up to 3, you are allowed to do a chain attack forcefully on Evelyn, which is going to be giving you some absolutely nasty damage. So you definitely want to use your skill as much as possible, and not only that, you want to make sure that you're using your basic attacks after your skill. That way you're able to do as much fire damage as possible and start building up that bar and get on those burning tether points. That way you can have an explosive amount of damage come out of nowhere. Not only that, to talk about Evelyn, we are also going to be looking at her ultimate, because this is also something that is very important within her kit, because using her ultimate for the first time, you are going to be permanently for the rest of the battle giving yourself 1 burning tether point. So once you're able to use your chain attack and you use your burning tether points, usually you would be reset to 0, but now if you use your ultimate, you will be receiving 1 point permanently, so you only need to build up 2 more burning tether points. That way you are able to use your chain attack, and once you're able to do so, you're just going to get so much extra damage from the amount of chain attacks that you're able to do, especially when you're comboing it with certain W engines or possibly with certain teammates as well. Looking at Evelyn, she is an amazing character, and not only to note, she also has off-field damage, which you are going to be spamming constantly, especially if you have certain teammates. With Evelyn, when an enemy is binded, you can switch off of Evelyn, and then she gets a free use of her skill once you are switched off. And then you can come back, of course, with the quick assist or however else you're going to bind the enemy and do it again. this is a lot of free damage, and if you're switching between Evelyn and another character constantly, you are non-stop going to be getting not only Evelyn's off-field damage, but also the damage coming from the other ally that you currently have on the team. This makes characters like Astra Yao very strong because Evelyn's quick assist does bind the enemy that she hits, and this just overall gives you an easy access way to go ahead and switch off a character and get off that extra off-field damage. So overall, Evelyn really loves to play this quick swappy style of going in and out, and then when it's time to do DPS, she unleashes all her resources. You use your bar, use your skill, and then your ultimate as well to just get as much damage as possible. Looking into Evelyn's equipment that you're going to be using, of course, her signature W engine, which is going to be Heartstring Nocturne, is going to be the best. There are substitutions like the Brimstone, of course, that is pretty much good on every attacker for the most part, and then we also have others like the Starlight engine, which of course, after using a dodge counter or quick assist, which you're going to be spamming quite a bit with Evelyn, you are going to be increasing your attack with the equipper. So this is really great to have overall with Evelyn, and these are some substitutions that you can run if you aren't going to be going out for her W engine. The next thing to cover as well is going to be the disc drives, and you do have a couple of options realistically, some more optimal than not, and then the others are going to be, if you have really good substats, they may work in when it comes to how you're going to be building your Evelyn. The build that I could recommend to most people, this would help you with your build tremendously just because of how easy it is to build overall, would be the 4-piece Woodpecker Electro and then 2-piece Branch and Blade Song. There are other options to use as well when it comes to the Fire disc set, which is a possibility just due to the amount of damage that you are able to do with Evelyn. That is just straight up fire. So this could help out quite a bit when it comes to the damage that you're doing. And of course, if you do have better substats on these other disc drive sets, then you might be able to use this instead of the 4-piece 2-piece. You could rock 2-piece 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 if that's going to help you in building your Evelyn. Evelyn gives herself quite a bit in stats when it comes to that free 25% crit rate. You're also getting the Woodpecker Electro crit rate, and then not only that, you're also getting the Branch and Blade Song crit damage. So yes, it's quite a bit that you're going to be getting from these to help you build Evelyn overall. What you want to go for your disc sets is for the slot 4. You want crit damage because, again, Evelyn will be giving herself a great amount of crit rate, so it would be better to invest a little bit more into crit damage. But whatever your stat requires you to get, whether it's crit rate or crit damage, that's what you usually would want on the 4th disc. On the 5th disc, of course, you want fire damage bonus, and on the 6th disc, you want attack percent. And this is overall how you're going to be building Evelyn. Again, Evelyn is a very strong character when it comes to how she's able to be a more quick swap oriented DPS, with also being able to do massive damage off field at the price of basically no energy, which is absolutely amazing. And especially with looking at how strong she is with all the damage that she's throwing out, whether it's on field, off field, and the frequency of it, it's a really strong attribute to have. And I really love the fact that she has a stacking mechanic where if you use her ultimate, you're going to get a lot stronger during the battle, which is overall really great. When it comes to the team that she's going to be using, one of her premier teams is definitely going to be Evelyn, Astra Yao, and Lighter. This team is absolutely disgusting. You use Astra Yao, of course, to proc the quick assist with Evelyn, allowing you to get the bind state off immediately, and then you can immediately switch to Lighter if you need to stun or if you have enough morale. And then Lighter is there, of course, to help out with the fire res decrease and fire damage bonus, while Astra is there not only for the quick assist and force chain attacks, but also helping you out with the damage boost and attack boost that you're going to be getting with Astra Yao's skill. So there's a lot of really great stuff that come from that team, and of course you can slide in other characters in between Lighter like Qin Yi as well, which is going to give you that stun damage multiplier, which could help quite a bit. Even Ambi as well if you want a more free-to-play option. I really do think having a stunner with having Evelyn on the team is really good, but of course you can mix and match, especially if you have Astra Yao, just because of how much, I guess, leniency you get with that team. They just do so much damage together. If you're not going to be using someone like having Astra Yao, you do want to go for someone who's going to help you with the attack percentage boost. So someone like Lucy could help as well with helping you get that extra attack bonus, which is going to help out Evelyn's damage by quite a bit. Other than that, that's pretty much it when it comes to Evelyn and how absolutely insane she is as a character. She's a really strong one, really active when it comes to being on the field, and for those that just love to be able to min-max their damage in terms of how much you're getting out of each character swap, each character skills, all that different type of stuff, Evelyn is such a great character for you. And I really do think, especially for me, I think Evelyn's super freaking fun. But other than that, that's going to be it for this video when it comes to talking about Evelyn. Let me know how you feel about her. Let me know if you're going to be pulling for her. And other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. See you on the next one, and peace.